So when Sony announced in March that they were going to close the PS Vita store, it did get me thinking about what would I want on my Vita if I couldn't access the store anymore. As you guys know, I've got a few different Vitas. On my main EU account Vita, which is using my main PSN account, that's the one I was really concerned about. I've got a 64 gig card on that Vita, and I wanted to make sure that the games on it were games that I'd want to play, in the future, or games that maybe I haven't finished yet. So I've got two screens of games organized in folders. So the first folder I've got here is the one I've called AAA. And this is really more about third-party big games, with large file sizes. And so some of these games I've already finished. So the first two rows, Killzone Mercenary, Need for Speed, Dragon's Crown, Dragon Quest Builders, Ys Origin, Muramasa, and Cloudon Returns. I've finished these games, but I just really love them and would want to come back to them and kind of want to keep them on my Vita because I figure these are games I'd happily go back to. Dragon's Crown, I haven't got the Platinum yet, but I feel like I can get it. And so I do want to keep that on my Vita until I do. Need for Speed Most Wanted, I keep coming back to that game just because I love it so much. The bottom three games, Arne the Surge Plus and God Eater 2, I've only really just kind of started those games. I haven't got very far, so I do want to spend more time on them, which is why I'd want to keep them. And both games so far are really good as well. Romancing Saga 3, you've got a choice of 8 different characters when you play that game, and I've only played as one, so I kind of see that as a game I haven't finished yet, because I do want to try the other characters as well. In the next couple of bubbles, I've got cart games, and so these are games that are on cartridges that I haven't got the whole file saved on my Vita. And actually what you'll notice is I don't have a lot of these big kind of almost AAA games on my Vita, so things like Uncharted, Wipeout, Gravity Rush, I love those games. But because I've got them on cartridge, I haven't felt the need to kind of download them and keep them on my Vita. I figure that if I ever wanted to play Gravity Rush, I'm probably not going to use my save file because I've already finished the whole game and got all the upgrades. So, maybe something I'd want to start from scratch again. So I'm not too worried about having it on my Vita right now. But in terms of the games on cartridge, these are games that really I haven't completely finished or kind of want to go back to. Shiren the Wanderer and Rayman Legends, I finished those games, but there's more content there. There's so much content in Shiren the Wanderer, so I'd want to go back to that. Darkest Dungeon as well. I actually restarted that when I bought the cartridge because I just loved the game so much, and I felt like I knew the game a lot better the second time round. So I restarted that game, so I've got kind of the cartridge save on the Vita, and I've also got it bought digitally as well. But these are a bunch of games on cartridges that I will kind of get back to or would like to go back to at some point. On the second of these bubbles, we've got God of War Collection, Ys Memories of Celceta, Unit 13, Persona 4 Golden, Dead or Alive 5 Plus, and 88 Heroes, which I just put on yesterday when I got the East Asia soft release. And these are games that I've played, so I've finished Persona 4 Golden, but I feel like, again, I could try to do the trophies on this one, try and get the Platinum. So it's kind of left there. I don't know if I ever will, just because it's such a massively long game. Dead or Alive 5 Plus is just awesome, and so I just want to keep that. Same with Unit 13. God of War Collection at Ys Memories of Celceta. I feel like I haven't given these games enough time. God of War I kind of gave up on because I wasn't too impressed with the graphics or sound. But I want to give that another try and see how it grabs me. Then most of my Vita is taken up with lots and lots of indie games. So in the first bubble, Indies 1, these are all games that I've not started yet or even played. So games like Count Lucanor, Lone Survivor, Hue, Curses and Chaos, Unepic, some of these are supposed to be really good games, but I just haven't actually got around to starting them. And so I wanted to put them on there just to make sure that they're all in one place. These are games that I do want to get to eventually. Going through the other bubbles, these are generally games that I finished, but just really loved. So my Indies 2 bubble has got things like Rogue Legacy, SteamWorld Heist, Crypt of the Necrodancer. These are games I can just keep coming back to. Same with Luftrausers as well, Neurovoider. They're games that are just awesome, and I would happily just kind of keep going back to and keep playing them just because they're so much fun. In Indies 3 bubble, in the bubble Indies 3, again, lots of games that I've played and really enjoyed and just want to keep on my Vita just because I love them so much. Zen Pinball 2 especially, such a good game and just really fun to pick up and play at any point. Monsters Ultimate HD, that game I haven't finished yet. I actually bought this on the PSP. I got pretty far on the PSP. I haven't got that far on the Vita yet. I think I need to give it a bit more time. But it's such a good game, and I just kind of want to give it some time. It's really difficult though, and quite frustrating at times. So I haven't put that much time into the Vita version, but again, it's something I want to get back to at some point. In the Bubble Indies 4, again, more games that I've played a lot of, but just happily would go back to them again. So SteamWorld Dig 2, there was a few more trophies there to get the platinum. Mecha Rum, a brilliant puzzle game, still a bit more for me to do there. Spelunky I never finished, but played it so many hours, but it's so tough that I never finished that game. Fez has got loads of trophies I didn't get to finish either. Maybe I'll get to it one day, but I'm kind of happy just to keep it there, because it's just an awesome game. And then Indies 5, again, lots of really great games here, and, you know, games like Iconoclast, Salt and Sanctuary, Hotline Miami, Deadbolt, I finished all these games, but, you know, they're just awesome, and I would happily play them again. Salt and Sanctuary especially, I've just got a few trophies left until the platinum, and so I do want to play that again and try and get them. The most recent games on this in this bubble, Astro, Aqua Kitty, and Scourgebringer. So awesome games, really recent releases. And actually, Astro, Aqua Kitty is coming out physical release tomorrow. If you're watching this on the 12th of May, I think it's the 12th or 11th of May. Something like that. It's out tomorrow. If you do buy Astro Aqua Kitty, if you can use my affiliate link in the description, that would be really, really appreciated. I've also got Devious Dungeon 2 there. I really enjoyed Devious Dungeon 2. Just a great fun action platformer. I know it doesn't get talked about too much, but I thought it was really good. Save the Pilgrims as well. That was actually a PS Minis game, I think, originally. Again, just a really fun game. Kind of this shooter where you're protecting these pilgrims who are walking along and there's monsters everywhere. It's a good, fun game. I recommend it. Then I've got two bubbles of PS Plus games. And so the first bubble is games that I haven't finished or haven't even started some of these. So I've started Level 22, Tesla Grad, Whoa Dave, but the rest of the games I haven't even played or even started yet. So these are all games that I want to get to at some point. Whereas the other PS Plus bubble is games that I've played quite a lot of, but still think I would go back to them at some point. Super Meat Boy's got some those really difficult levels to try and beat, which I never got to, or couldn't finish any of them actually. But I wouldn't mind kind of trying again sometime. Geometry Wars 3, I've talked about this before, but it's an awesome game. The super hard levels, I haven't been able to beat them either, so there's a lot to do there. Jetpack Joyride is just a lot of fun. It's a really fun game, so I wouldn't mind keeping that on my Vita. Don't Starve, I have unlocked, I think, about 3 characters out of 10, so there's still more for me to do on that one. And same with Binding of Isaac. I haven't unlocked all the characters for those 2 games, and they're just brilliant, so I'm happy to keep them on my Vita. Onto the second screen, and this is basically all PSP and PS1 games. So the first bubble I've got there is PS Minis. And so just a few minis that are just really fun that I really enjoyed. Field Runners is great, Who's That Flying is great, Blimp Adventures is really good as well. I really enjoyed that game. Where's My Heart? I wasn't a huge fan of this one, but it got so much critical praise that I haven't deleted it just because I think I need to give it another try because everyone has talked about how awesome this game is. So I'm gonna give that one another try at some point. And then looking at the PSP games, these are some of my favorite PSP games, apart from things like Crisis Core or Kingdom Hearts, which aren't on the PSN. But Capcom Classics collections are awesome, so is the Mega Drive collection. Third Birthday, Dissidia, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, Loco Roco 2, Patapon 2, Peace Walker. Just all of these are awesome games that I would happily play like at any time. Neo Geo Heroes, I actually haven't played that before. So it's on there. It's one of the PSP games on my Vita, but I need to actually give that one some time. I heard it's really good. And for PS1, they've only got 2 games here. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of the best games ever made, guys, and Final Fantasy VI. And so I actually started playing Final Fantasy VI again, it was probably about 2 or 3 months ago, and I didn't get very far, to be honest. I only played about 2 hours, but I figure I'll keep it on my Vita. I'd love to play it again sometime. I'd probably like to have like Final Fantasy IX on there as well, but I don't have a lot of space left on my Vita. But guys, that's the games I've got on my Vita, and this is on my 64 gig card. I've backed up this Vita, so if anything went wrong, I've got like a brand new 64 gig card that I can put into a new Vita and download the backup and still play it. So this is kind of games that I kind of see myself as would be playing in the future, that I would be happy to play anytime. You know, I could take this Vita with all these games and I'd be occupied for dozens and dozens of hours happily. On my other Vita, especially my hacked Vita, I've got a lot more games on it just because I've got an SD card in there, so I can fit a lot more games in there and a lot more kind of homebrew games and emulators as well. But guys, let me know. So your main Vita, what games do you have on it? What are the games that you would say you have to have on your Vita that you'll never delete? You know, for me, things like Need for Speed Most Wanted, Luftrausers, Neurovoider, you know, these games are just awesome and so much fun that I can pick up and play anytime, that I just would never delete them. So let me know, guys, what are your games like that you would never delete from your Vita? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.